weather is changing and it's time to get sewing on all those jackets, coats, and sweaters. To kick off the cooler season, today we're sewing the West End jacket. This is a free pattern that you can find and download at Peppermint magazine. I've left a link for you below so you can check out all the details, grab a copy, and sew along with me. This is a relaxed fit jacket with a rounded collar and oversized patch pockets, and the insides are finished with durable flat felled seams. The fabric that I'm using today does not have a clear right and wrong side, so I'm using pieces of tape to designate the wrong side of the fabric. I hope you join me in sewing this practical everyday wardrobe piece. Let's get started. Apply interfacing to the wrong side of your top collar and your under collar pieces, as well as to the center front edges of both of your front bodice pieces. Cut these strips of interfacing to measure the length of your center front and to a width of 1 3/4 inches. And then fuse them to your center front so that they're 1 centimeter away from the edge of the fabric. Again, doing this for both center fronts. Fold and press the tops of your pockets to the wrong side by 3/8 of an inch. Once you have those edges folded down to the wrong side, we're going to fold the top edges down once more, this time to the right side, folding right along the notches that you transferred from your pattern piece. Now pin the side edges of both of these folded portions and sew the side edges of the 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to trim these seam allowances also trimming those top corners. Then I'm going to turn these top sections right side out and poke out those corners. Then we're going to press the remainder of our sides and bottom edges to the wrong side by 5/8 of an inch. Now we're going to take this to the sewing machine and top stitch this bottom edge of the top flap close to this inner fold for both pocket pieces. You can do 1 or 2 rows of top stitching to your preference. I'm just going to be edge stitching close to that bottom inner fold. I've transferred the pocket markings from my pattern piece just using pins. Now I'll place the wrong side of my pocket on the right side of my bodice, and then I'll pin the side and bottom edges of my pocket in place. Do this for both pockets and then edge stitch to secure your side and bottom edges, back stitching at the beginning and end of your stitches to secure. Place your back yoke piece wrong sides together with the top of your back bodice and pin in place. Sew across with the 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now that that's sewn, we're going to open up that seam and we're going to trim away 2/3 of the back bodice seam allowance only, leaving this top seam allowance of the yoke intact. Now we're going to take that untrimmed seam allowance of the yoke and fold it to the seam line, and then on the seam line, pin in place all the way across. Now that this seam is prepared on the outside of the garment, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and sew close to that tucked under folded edge all the way across. Now place your front and back bodices wrong sides together at the side seams and pin in place at both side seams. And then sew both of your side seams with the 5/8 inch seam allowance. And now, just as we did when we were sewing our yoke, we're going to trim one of the seam allowances, this time trimming the seam allowance of the back bodice only, leaving the seam allowance of the front bodice fully intact. We're going to trim that back bodice seam allowance by 2/3. Then we're going to tuck that front bodice seam allowance underneath the trimmed seam allowance of the back bodice, just as we did for the yoke, folding the front bodice seam allowance to the seam line, and then on the seam line, and pinning in place. and then edge stitch close to that folded edge from top to bottom. And repeat for both side seams. Now we're going to do the same flat felled seams for the shoulders as well, placing your front and back pieces wrong sides together at the shoulder seams and pinning in place. Doing this for both shoulder seams. Now, just as we've done before, sew your shoulder seams with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. And then once those are sewn, we're going to trim the seam allowances of the front bodice only by 2/3. Then we're going to tuck that untrimmed shoulder seam allowance of the back bodice underneath the trimmed seam allowance of the front bodice and pin in place on both sides. Then take it to your sewing machine and edge stitch close to those folded edges just as we did for the previous flat felled seams. Place your top collar and under collar right sides together and pin along the outer edges. And then sew those outer edges with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Then we can trim our seam allowance by about half. And then clip into those curves. Then we can turn our collar piece right side out. And we're going to give those seams a good press, making sure that our seam is slightly rolled toward the under collar. Then we're going to take our collar to the sewing machine and edge stitch close to those outer edges all the way around. Now we're going to begin attaching our collar to the top of the bodice. Place these pieces together so that the under collar is right sides together with the top of the neckline and pin in place. The notches along the open edge of your collar should align with your shoulder seams. Sew your collar in place from one side to the other with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now that collar is sewn, we're going to clip into that collar area about every 3/8 of an inch just to give some ease here in that space. Just clipping into that seam allowance close to the stitching line, but being careful not to clip into your stitching. Now we can start preparing our center fronts. At the center fronts, we're going to fold that outer fabric right along the outer edge of the inner facing. This should be about 3/8 of an inch, folding it to the wrong side of the fabric. Once you've folded that outer edge, we're going to fold it once more to the wrong side, folding along the top and bottom notches that you transferred from your pattern piece, which should align right along the inner edge of your inner facing. Now that you have that pressed to the wrong side, we're going to turn this top section to the right side, again aligning it with the notch at the top, right along the line that we just pressed. The top section of this panel will overlap the collar just a little bit, and pin in place. Then we're going to sew from the outer fold to the inner fold, backstitching to secure. And then you can trim that top corner. Repeat all of these steps for your opposite center front. I've cut a strip of bias tape from my main fabric that's about 1.5 inches wide. I've cut this strip so that it's longer than my neckline. Now I'm going to place this bias tape right sides together with my top collar so that it extends just a little bit over this 3/8 inch flap we pressed into our center front earlier. Aligning those horizontal seam allowances and pinning in place. And pin straight across until the bias tape just extends beyond that 3/8 inch flap on the opposite side. And trim off any excess bias tape. Then I'm going to sew my bias tape in place with a 5/8 inch seam allowance, which should fall right in line with the original seam allowance of the collar. And then trim this top seam allowance. Now you can open out this seam allowance Now, similarly to how we did the flat-felled seams earlier, with the seam allowance of this collar pressed upward, you're going to take the outer edge of the collar and fold it to the seam line on top of that seam allowance. Fold the bias tape with the seam allowance downward. And pin in place along that folded edge. Continue tucking in the edge of that bias tape underneath the seam allowance and pinning all the way across. Once that bias tape is pinned underneath the collar, we're going to edge stitch all the way across. We're going to begin and end our edge stitching, moving this center front placket out of the way on both sides so that we don't catch it in our stitching. We also want to avoid catching the collar in our stitching as well. So we're just sewing the bottom of this bias tape to the outer jacket only. Once that's sewn, you can turn your front plackets right side out, poking out those top corners. Now for the bottom of the jacket, we're going to fold that bottom raw edge to the wrong side by 3/8 of an inch all the way across. Once you have that bottom edge folded to the wrong side, we're going to fold it by an additional 1 3/4 inches, again to the wrong side from one side to the other. Now with this bottom hem unfolded, we're going to fold the center placket to the right side along the inner edge of the inner facing, making sure that the 3/8 inch fold of the center front placket is still pressed under. We're going to pin that in place right along the pressed crease of our bottom hem. Then we're going to sew along that upper pressed crease of the bottom hem from the outside edge of the center placket and over its 3/8 inch fold. Then we're going to trim that bottom corner, then turn the center placket right side out, poking out that bottom corner. Now with our center front placket turned right side out and the inner front of the placket loose on the inside of the garment, we're going to pin that in place. Now we're going to top stitch that center placket 2 separate times. We're going to top stitch, edge stitching close to that outer edge from top to bottom. Then we're going to edge stitch close to that inner fold from top to bottom. Repeat those steps to finish your opposite center front placket in the same way. And then to finish the bottom hem, you're going to make sure that that 3/8 inch fold is tucked under, and we're going to pin that bottom hem in place all the way across. And we're going to top stitch the bottom hem twice, just as we did for the center front edges. First, stitching from the outermost edge all the way across that top fold of your hem, and then edge stitching the bottommost edge again from corner to corner. For the sleeves, the pattern calls for regular seams, just having you fold the sleeve in half, right sides together, pinning in place, sewing with a 5/8 inch seam allowance, and then serging the raw edges. But I want to avoid serging here, so I'm going to do French seams. I'm going to fold the sleeves wrong sides together and pin the seam, and then sew this seam with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to turn my sleeve inside out and give this seam a good press. Now that that's pressed, I'm going to sew this seam once again with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now, using whichever method you chose to finish that sleeve seam, complete your other sleeve seam in the same way. Fold your cuff in half the long way, wrong sides together, and give that a good press. And then fold one long raw edge of the cuff to the wrong side by 3/8 of an inch, and give that a good press. Now, with both of those folds opened out, fold your sleeve in half so that the short edges meet, right sides together, and pin in place. Sew with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now place the unfolded raw edge of your cuff right sides together with the bottom of your sleeve, matching your seams, and pin in place. Continue pinning the cuff to the bottom of the sleeve all the way around. Sew the cuff to the bottom of the sleeve with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Now that seam is sewn and your sleeve is wrong side out, we're going to fold the cuff in half along the memory crease and also tuck to the inside the memory crease that we pressed for the bottom edge of the cuff. So now the folded edge of the cuff should just cover the stitching line that we just created, and pin in place. Now that's pinned, we're going to top stitch twice, just as we did for the bottom hem and the center fronts. We're going to top stitch once close to that folded edge of the cuff all the way around. Then we're going to top stitch again close to the bottom edge of the cuff all the way around. Follow the same exact steps to attach your remaining cuff to the bottom of your opposite sleeve. Now we're going to prepare the tops of the sleeves to be inserted into the armholes. You have notches on your sleeves that indicate the front and the back. We're going to sew basting stitches all around the tops of the sleeve from one notch all the way to the other, making sure to leave thread tails on both sides so that you can pull those stitches to ease them into the armhole. We're just going to be sewing within the seam allowance here, so use about a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to insert the sleeve into the armhole so that the materials are wrong sides together, matching my underarm seams and pin in place, and then matching the dot at the top of my sleeve to my shoulder seam and pinning in place. Then I'm going to start pulling my basting stitches so that I can gather the rest of the top of the sleeve cap so that it fits into the armhole perfectly. Once I've eased it in on one side of the shoulder seam, I'm going to pin that in place, and then ease in the other side on the opposite side of the shoulder seam, and pin that in place. Now I can take it to my sewing machine and sew the sleeve into the armhole with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. Then we're going to trim the sleeve seam allowance by 2/3, leaving the seam allowance of the bodice intact. And then pull your sleeve to the right side. And just as we've done before, we're going to fold this outer bodice seam allowance over the trimmed seam allowance of the sleeve, forming our flat felled seam, and pin in place. Pinning in place all the way around. We're going to sew close to that folded edge all the way around. I've used my front bodice pattern piece to mark my buttonhole placement onto my right front bodice. And now I'm ready to sew each of my 6 buttonholes. Now that my buttonholes are sewn into my right placket, I'm going to place the right placket over the left and use pins to mark where I want my buttons to go. And then sew my buttons in place. And now your jacket is complete. Thank you for watching this sew along. Make sure you check out the rest of my video library for more great sewing inspiration, and I'll see you in the next video.